touchdown, pulled in by Nestor. 3 seconds left.
Are you kidding me with the play call right there by Kevin Whiteman? Again, forget the game-winning field goal. Whiteman says, we're going to try and win this thing right now. The direct snap to Tyler sucked everybody up, and Nestor slips behind. What an unbelievable gutsy play call, and then perfect execution by these Falcons.
Things aren't always going to be great. And sometimes, you can work really, really hard and it's still not great. You're still not successful. But if you continue to do it, one way or another, things are going to be work out. You're going to be successful. And it may not be in the world's eyes, but God's made us this way. He's blessed us with so many things, and I think that's one of our attributes that we need to have is we're going to continue to work. We're going to continue to work hard. And if it doesn't work out exactly how we want, just keep plugging away because God's got better plans.
Live from West Virginia's capital city with news from across the state. This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and Metro News' Dave Allen.
Welcome in to the final hour, Metro News Midday for this Thursday afternoon. Stephanie Pauly, Ryan Nicholson, our producers today. We'll get to Open Line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour. Your calls and text. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. It's Metro News Midday.
Metro News Midday is presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com. Join in by calling 800-765-8255 or text 304-TALK 304. Let's go live to downtown Charleston. Here's Dave Allen.
It's a Thursday edition of Metro News Midday, one step closer to the weekend. Metro News Midday. Thank you so much for checking us out. As I said, we'll get to Open Line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour. Your calls and text, 1-800-765-TALK. That is the phone number. You can text me, 304-TALK 304. Stephanie Pauly, Ryan Nicholson are our producers today. There was a large gathering held last night in Charleston at the Clay Center, and out of that, more than 200 middle school teachers and administrators from across the state are going to be going to Hotlanta this summer to experience the Ron Clark Academy as part of Huntington Bank's 2026 Ignite the Classroom program. Chad Prather is with us, Huntington Bank president. What's your official title, Chad?
You got it, buddy. Regional president for West Virginia for Huntington Bank.
And you have with you?
Steve Farmer. Steve is trustee for the Hazel Ruby McQueen Charitable Trust, also lead partner for Farmer, Klein, and Campbell in town here. Let's
talk about the event last night, and then we'll kind of break it down from there.
Yeah. So it was a great night. We had teachers from all over the state, literally. Some from the Eastern Panhandle, some from right here in Kanawha County, and every points in between. Southern Coalfields, 12 counties, over 200 teachers to come and see Ron Clark.
For those who don't know, who is Ron Clark?
Yeah, so Ron Clark is, I always describe him, we were talking a moment ago about being sports people. To me, he is the Michael Jordan of teachers. He's, quote unquote, America's teacher. He has had movies after him. Matthew Perry played him in a role. He's turned schools around and has always been known as someone who can take a classroom and get the very most out of it. He's got the top performing fifth grade classes in the country right now at his school in Atlanta. And what he does is just innovative teaching techniques. It's ways to capture kids' attention, make sure you keep their attention, accountability, follow through, just very, very unique, innovative techniques. We had a cohort of teachers go down last year, seeing great results out of them. Unfortunately, we were able to double the number of teachers that we're going to send this year in the second cohort of teachers from West Virginia.
And we talked to some of the teachers that came back from there last year. Man, it was like they had just, they came back energized. I mean, middle of summer saying, I want to start school tomorrow. Let's get this thing going. What is it that about this guy that's so dynamic that lights a fire, not only under his students, but also under these teachers?
Yeah, and it's an energy level like you've never seen or experienced. Most of them described it as their adult Disneyland. They went down there. The teachers are passionate people. They're doing it for a reason. They've got one of the most important and likely most underappreciated jobs in the world, really and truthfully. They don't know who's walking in the door, the kid, what happened that morning, what happened the night before, what experiences that kid had, but they're greeting him with a big smile and taking that head on. And they don't really get the resources or the, frankly, the professional development that, we all get in our professions. And so what a better opportunity than to take the very best in the world who does this, who's very willing to share his talents and send them down there to see it firsthand. And that's really what this is all about. We incorporate a lot of fun into the trip. But it's a lot about professional development. So they're hands-on literally watching Ron teach his classes and his team and the techniques they use. And then they'll break those down, and here's why we did that, and here's why this is important. And things like, you've got the kid's attention for about 6 minutes, and then you better mix it up a little bit to make sure that they're paying attention for the next session and the next thing you're going to present. And if you don't know that, you don't know that. And so it's very, very small things that can be implemented, but that have huge impacts.
Why does Huntington Bank get involved in this?
One of our core values is just making the communities that we serve better places. And what's more core to a community than the school, and what's more important than anything in the school is the teacher. They're driving, leadership down to the kids who are our future. That's our future workforce. And if we don't do it, then who is going to do it? So that's our view on it. We're very happy to do it. But it's a great opportunity for us to send all of our teachers down there to make schools in West Virginia a better place.
And these educators that were at this event at the Clay Center last night, they were surprised that they got chosen, I guess, right?
They were, yeah. They had a little bit of an inkling that something might be coming because last year it was a complete surprise last year.
I remember seeing the videos last year. I mean, it was like they had all just won the lottery or something. They were going crazy last year.
Same thing this year. Very, very excited. Some crying, tears in their eyes. Again, this guy is the best of the best, and so they follow him on social media. They watch his YouTube, and they see all the things that he does. To meet him in person that's what they thought they were going for, to do that and to hear his keynote address. And then to be surprised with a scholarship was just added bonus.
And you're going to have, I understand there's going to be teachers from Berkeley, Boone, Cabell, Grant, Greenbrier, Hardy, Jefferson, Kanawha, Mercer, Monongalia, Randolph, and Tucker County. That's a pretty wide section of the state there.
It is. We partnered with Dr. Blatt and the Department of Education on, where are the most impact that we can make? Where's the biggest impact? So those schools were identified as those that are not necessarily at the very, very top, but they're certainly not at the very, very bottom. They can move the easiest, and we thought that we get the greatest impact from those. Our hope and our goal with partners like the Charitable Trust is to send all of our teachers, and that's our plan.
Steve, I want to bring you in here and have you talk about this Charitable Trust. Explain your trust.
Well, I'm very privileged to represent a lady named Hazel Ruby McQuain, who passed away in 2002. She was a Morgantown resident. Her and her husband, J.W. Ruby, were very successful people that did not have the benefit of education. And she left pretty much the entirety of her fortune in 2002 to a charitable trust. And the instructions are to make philanthropic gifts in West Virginia that are designed to help the most people. And boy, we became acquainted with Chad's Endeavor and Huntington Banks and got to know Ron Clark and became totally convinced that this is transformational to West Virginia education, that we could go as far as leveraging, teachers are very unnoticed, unappreciated, and can be very isolated because nobody's thinking about them, even though they have the literally most important job, I think, in West Virginia, because they are the front line of our future, because the people the kids that they see every day are going to be our future leaders. And so we looked at it very closely, and it's hard to explain how Ron Clark is, but I have every belief, and the trustees have every belief, that if we can implement this in every school in West Virginia, our educational profile, with the enthusiasm and ability of the teachers, giving them the resources that they need, we can go from wherever we're rated right now to top in the country very, very quickly. I know that's aspirational, and we in our Appalachian culture, I love so much about our Appalachian culture, but one of the things of the country thinking that frustrates me is we're very stoic people, and we make do with whatever we have. And that's what, our teachers have been called upon to do. And we want to draw the line in the sand on education and say, no, we're not going to make do with what we have. We are entitled to the best. We can achieve the best. And this project, to get it through all of West Virginia, will take millions of philanthropic dollars. And the trust is committed as a top priority to stay with this and see it through. And what our engagement is we've agreed to match every other philanthropic gift that is given, which means the entire community and everybody in West Virginia can be involved. In other words, if you can donate $10, we match it. If you can donate $100, we match it. If you donate $250,000, the trust matches it. So everything you give, if you give a $100 gift, that's a $200 gift. If you can give a $1,000 gift, and that way we can get everyone involved and behind this and change the relationship between our teachers, our students, and our communities.
And I've said this, guys, countless times over the years on the radio, that our teachers in 2026 are asked to do so much more than what they were when I was in school.
So much more with so much less.
Yeah, I mean, because they're everything from educators, that's where it starts, but they're in many times, sadly enough, many times the teachers are the only influence, the only positive influence that a young man or a young woman has. And we've all heard that. Plus, they're a social worker.
That's right. Exactly right.
They're a dietitian.
They're all that.
I mean, they're asked to do so much.
And like anyone else, in order to be successful, whoever your employer, your environment, you need to have the necessary tools to be successful.
Yeah.
We couldn't be having this conversation out in the parking lot right now. We need all the tools that are provided by the radio station to make you successful. And this is something we can do. I perceive it as very doable and very easy. It takes energy, as started by Huntington Bank, knowledge by the rest of the community, and resources, which we're committed. The Hazel Ruby McQueen Charitable Trust is committed to match any resources that are raised.
And Ron Clark was actually there last night at the Clay Center, right?
Yeah, he was our keynote. Energy, that guy has. And, he had the room buzzing pretty good. And then at the end, we were able to surprise him with the scholarships. They'll be going down in July to Atlanta. There'll be upwards of 300 teachers, between 250 and 300. So super excited about that.
I can't imagine the logistics of trying to get them from all these different places.
A lot of airports, a lot of hotels, a lot of things. But we handle all that. The teachers do nothing but respond to an email and say, "Where do you live? What's your closest airport?" We get them there. This is 100% of their expenses paid.
Everything's taken care of.
100% food, accommodations, air travel. We do some fun activities with them down there. Scholarship, obviously, to the academy. Everything's 100% covered.
And interestingly enough, any of your listeners that want to learn more about Ron Clark and what we're doing, just Google Ron Clark Academy. And you'll get on, and there's a bunch of videos. There's a lot of background on what he's doing, and it's really very exciting.
And so you guys did this last year as well. And I recall on Midday we actually talked to a few of the teachers afterwards, and they just called it life-changing. I mean, did you get to go down last year?
I've been down multiple times, actually, and I went down with the teachers last year. So
what did you take away from it as a non-teacher?
Yeah, so I already knew Ron, and I watched the movie, and so he's a superstar. That was very clear to me minute one. What became clear to me down there is inner city Atlanta kids, So 97% African American inner city kids go to that school. They came, a lot of them from single parent homes, a lot of them raised by grandkids, a lot of them don't know where their next meal's coming from, a lot of them have parents that have drug problems. And I said to myself, that sounds kind of familiar. Maybe not the same, we're maybe a little more less urban, a little more rural, but sounds familiar. I'm having debates with an 11-year-old about interest rate policy as a banker, talking to a fifth grader, that doesn't happen very frequently. So what I walked away with was the greatest impression I've ever had of a group of kids because of the training they had. We talked to another young man who was a graduate of the Ron Clark Academy, who is studying to be a neuroscientist in California, full ride out there. And he's, I'm like, man, you could be doing anything this summer. Why are you coming up here helping us pick up trash and stuff from the lunchroom? And he's like, this place changed my life. He's like, I wouldn't have these opportunities without it. And he's literally, performing life-changing science, as a student. So if we don't think it works, all you have to do is lay eyes on that or watch some of those videos, and you will become inspired that it can.
And the numbers bear that out. I won't get it exactly right, but his students graduate essentially 100% from high school. And 96% of that constituency that Chad just described, 96% of those kids become successful college graduates. And the 4% that don't, the vast majority of them have chosen entrepreneurship or another path. It's not that they failed. So it's an extraordinary success rate. And we want that throughout West Virginia. Wouldn't that be transformative for West Virginia?
I mean, 100%. It would, and as because we need something with our young people in West Virginia, and we need to keep them here. I talk all the time with political figures on this show, and I say, how do we get our young people to? I mean, because it's a great program, don't get me wrong, but the last thing we want to do is get them educated and send them out of here. We got to try to figure out a way to get them to stay in West Virginia.
Well, they've got to be educated, and we can create job creators. Wouldn't that be a great thing? Like, we can create entrepreneurs. We can create the next executives that run these companies, and not have to rely on, somebody else to do that for us. Hey, let's recruit somebody in. Let's grow some things on our own. We can absolutely do that.
Yeah, I mean, you can leverage opportunity. In other words, if you give these kids more opportunities, that creates more opportunities. When you create more, it builds on itself. And we change the culture. We change the perception of West Virginia. We change everything about this to propel West Virginia into what is going to be a very complex next generation for a number of reasons. Right?
I mean, and you think about what comes to mind automatically is AI. How AI is changing, because AI has changed the way that we do things in radio. It's changed the way that you guys bank. It changed the things in the legal field. I mean, it's the
tip of the iceberg.
Oh, we're not even. I mean, I think that, and I said this before, and I'm getting way off topic here, but I will say this. Obviously, the computer, and I'm using that as a very generic term, changed the business world. The smartphone changed the business world. They both pale in comparison to the way AI is going to change the business world.
No doubt. And one of the things that if we do this for our children, when they come of age, they will have opportunities to stay in West Virginia even if they work somewhere else. They can stay in our communities, work remotely, work for a company that may be headquartered in Chicago, have a very successful career, and be in our West Virginia communities to become our leaders, our next generation of citizens. And I think it's very compelling.
Big shout out to Huntington Bank for doing it, for your
shout out
and for your
Huntington
trust
Bank.
For getting involved in this as well. We got about 30 seconds. Anything you want to say before?
No, just it's our pleasure to do it, number one. But I got to thank all our partners, Steve and the trustees in particular, matching all those donations. We had another 20 or so community partners who contributed for everything from corporations to foundations to individuals who we want to thank also. But it's a great pleasure to be able to do it, and our teachers deserve it.
And I'd like to thank you for helping us get the word out, because just like everything else, I was completely uninformed about this a year and a half ago. And now that I've learned about it, It's very, very exciting and compelling. And the more citizens know about it, the more can get behind it, and we can all work together.
All right.
Thank you.
Guys, I appreciate you both being here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dave.
We'll take a
Appreciate
break and be back after this. Stay with us.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
With Metro News Hotline. If it's trending, it's probably here.
And then the other thing, his last name is one of those weird Norwegian names where they have two vowels that slam into each other. It's like the A and the E are like cemented into each other.
You're like the 12th Dave that works here. What do you think people from Norwegian think about that?
That is fair.
Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on Metro News Television.
When I was heavy, being on my feet all day seemed like torture. Makes you feel defeated. I'm just going to be like this for the rest of my life. But then I thought, I'm done acting like that. I'm not going to be like that anymore. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 265 pounds. It's always been my goal to have my own place. I want everyone to feel welcome here. I would never have been able to do all these things before without WVU Medicine.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here. Talkline on Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com. Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline on Metro News Television.
Warmer drives and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Welcome back to the show. Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. We're heard all over the great state of West Virginia. Great radio stations like WSLW in White Sulphur Springs, WKKX and WVLY in Wheeling, WEPM Martinsburg, WAJR Morgantown, WKLP in Kaiser, WVW Logan, WKMZ Clarksburg, WDNE in Elkins, WJLS in Beckley, and our flagship here in Charleston, WCHS. We'll get to Open Line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour. Whatever's on your mind, we'll talk about it. 1-800-765-TALK, 1-800-765-8255, or text 304-TALK-304. I will say this personal note here. It's opening day in Major League Baseball. I know there was a game last night, but this is opening day, all right? My team, the Reds, played 4:10 this afternoon. I've had two different guests, and I say this very tongue-in-cheek, very respectfully. I've had 2 different guests that have come on the show today on Midday and have disrespected my big red machine. And I'm talking to you, Attorney Steve Farmer, who was on the last segment, and our Attorney General, J.B. McCuskey. Both of them had disparaging things to say about the Redlegs. And wouldn't you know it, because they're Pittsburgh Pirates fans. It's all good. I also have the misfortune of being a Chicago White Sox fan, because my wife is from Chicago, and that's the team that her family all likes, so I inherited them as well. It's been a rough couple of years in the world of baseball for me. Plus, I'm a Cowboys fan, too. So we'll take a break, come back after this. Stay with us. And now we'll go to the Metro News Anchor Desk for a check of local news. You're listening to Midday on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Chris Lawrence. U.S. Senator Shelley Moore Capito says she is quite concerned about the ongoing situation at airports and the lack of funding for Homeland Security. Capito said this week Republicans made real concessions trying to get the Democrats to agree, but didn't happen.
We will remove $5 billion from this bill. That is the money that goes from the enforcement and removal operations, which are the ones that we saw in Minneapolis. We will remove that funding. That's a pretty big step, and we were willing to go along with that. So they come back with, well, no, you can't just remove that. You got to remove another $5 billion.
And Capito says there remains an impasse on Capitol Hill. A Wood County woman who had been missing for several days in Randolph County has been found dead in the Elkins area. State police say 64-year-old Gabriella Allen of Vienna went missing from a home in Elkins last Sunday evening, seen walking along Route 219 about midnight. She was found dead Wednesday night around 7:30 on a piece of private property just off of Route 219 by a landowner. No further information on her death revealed. A Berkeley County magistrate is off the bench until further notice. Berkeley County deputies charged Magistrate Dorothy Yost with filing a false emergency incident. Investigators say she called in deputies while arraigning an inmate from the Eastern Regional Jail, claiming that during that proceeding he grabbed her wrist and made threatening gestures toward her. The Sheriff's Department said interviews and video proved otherwise. You're listening to Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
On Tuesday, March 31st at 6 p.m., the conversation comes to life through the Stubblefield Institute at Shepherd University. Watch on the Metro News TV app exploring the opportunities and challenges surrounding the rapid growth of data centers across West Virginia. Panelists include Kara Keys, Jefferson County Commissioner, Amy Margolis, Executive Director of Tucker United, Chris Morris, Director of the Data Economy Office with the West Virginia Department of Economic Development, and Dado Slezak, Executive Vice President of Utility Innovation, QTS, moderated by Steve Pearson of Observer Weekly. Panelists will examine how large-scale data center development could affect infrastructure, land use, energy demand, environmental concerns, and the future of commodities across the Mountain State. Have questions you want answered? Submit it in advance at StubblefieldInstitute.org. Watch the event live and free on the Metro News television app.
Governor Patrick Morrisey today announcing 75 jobs are coming to Cabell County. Morrisey was on hand to make the announcement earlier this afternoon in Lesage at the operations of Swiss-based Alcon. The company is a global producer of eye care products. The company planning to invest $81 million in its West Virginia operation, creating those 75 jobs that are expected to pay an average salary of about $80,000 a year. Alcon already employs about 620. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
Talking to your kids about the dangers of vaping can be hard. Getting them to listen to hot gossip is easy. So here's some drama you could share with your kid. Dude, did you hear about Cassie and Jake? No, but did you hear that vaping can cause irreversible lung damage and nicotine affects brain development? Nuh-uh. You don't need to gossip if you want to have an open conversation about vaping. So if you want to get tips on when and how to talk to your kids, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com.
Welcome back to the show. 26 away from 3 o'clock. It's Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit SalangoLaw.com. Stephanie Pauly, Ryan Nicholson, our producers today. If you're a parent or grandparent worried about how in the world am I going to pay for this kid's education, well, we may be able to help out. 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program. One high school junior is going to get a full scholarship to Wesleyan, room, board, tuition, and fees all included. Full details available at WVMetroNews.com. Simply click on the Apply Now button. Deadline to enter, though, May 3rd. 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program presented by Greer Industries, the West Virginia Hospital Association. You can go to WVMetroNews.com, WVMetroNews.com, and simply hit the Apply Now button, and the deadline is May 3rd. Open line West Virginia, 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Mention, the big talk has been opening day baseball. If I had to rank the sports, all right, I'm a huge football fan, particularly NFL, and my select college games as well. But there's just something about opening day in baseball, and I think it has to do with the timing because it's in the spring, and you're coming off winter, and that sustained warm weather is going to be here, hopefully for a while, and because baseball plays far more games than anyone else does, 162 game regular season. It's just something, and it's just the tradition of opening day baseball. And nobody does it like Cincinnati, the city of Cincinnati, and the first pitch will be at 4:10. They've been partying since sometime, toward the end of February in Cincinnati, getting ready for opening day today. But there's just something about it. Everybody goes into the season saying, this is our year. Well, okay, maybe not every team does. But last year, my Reds, made it to the playoffs, had a lot of promise, and didn't go very far. But maybe this will be the year. So we'll see what they do against the Red Sox today. But whomever your team is, we wish them the best of luck. And that's another thing, too, that I have found out. There are those teams. I know a lot of Dodger fans. I know a lot of Yankee fans, a lot of Red Sox fans. Our own Matt Guitar Murphy, a big Milwaukee Brewers fan. Cubs are huge. I even know one family that are such hardcore Astro fans that they go to several games a season in Houston, or if they're playing anywhere close. Whatever your team is, whomever your team is, we wish them the best this season. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Text said, I agree with that county commissioner. People are coming into the state, and we're giving them services, and they're not paying. We need to put a special tax on anybody coming into town for a WVU game or any sports game. A lot of people come just for that day. They need to pay tax because we are giving them services. Well, you do. I don't know if that was like satire or tongue-in-cheek or what, but when you buy tickets to events, there's a little tax on there that goes toward this. I think if you missed the interview last hour we did with Mason County Commissioner Rick Handley, what he was talking about was a proposed camping tax. And what this means is, he said it did not have anything to do with, you bringing the camper down by the river with your family. That's not what it meant. They were talking about with a lot of the construction, and there's so much of it going on in Mason County right now, that there were these campgrounds that have set up for the workers. And he was proposing while they're here, because of the services and things of that nature, that there be a tax. And if you've noticed, he talked about him and his family going on vacation. Next time that you go on vacation, you go to a hotel and you stay, look at the fees that you're charged. And there's a lot that goes into that, and that money goes for a lot of things. Well, the Mason County does not have a hotel. They have the historic Low Hotel, which is right there in downtown Point Pleasant, which Commissioner Handley said so well may or may not be haunted. There are some people that are restoring that hotel, but it's not up and running yet. And so what they're saying is that their services are being drained. Now, but it's a good, like Commissioner Handley said, it's a good problem to have. All right, lots of areas in the state would like to have that problem, but he proposed a tax. And one thing that I thought was interesting was he said it would be a limited time, just while the construction of Nucor and these other facilities are going on, and then it would be removed. And I've known Rick Handley for a long, long time. several decades, as a matter of fact. I've always found him to be a man of his word. But I've also not heard of a lot of taxes going into play that were later removed. So, I'm not saying that he's not telling the truth, but I'm just saying that may be a first. If a tax is put in place and then it's later removed. That might be a first. We'll see what happens there. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Text says, listening to Senator Shelley Moore Capito is nauseating, but she's still better than the two guys she's running against in the primary. Text, how is Hillbilly CNN doing today? I am doing great. I'm doing great. Somebody on social media referred to me as Hillbilly CNN, and I own the Hillbilly part. The CNN, now them's fighting words, all right? But the Hillbilly part, I own it. As I said yesterday, I'm going to get T-shirts made. I really, really am. Text says, Mason County sounds unprepared for what's coming its way. Well, with all due respect to Mason County, I love Mason County. I live one county over, and Mason County was the first county that my wife and I lived in when we first got married. I don't know a lot of areas that would be prepared in West Virginia or maybe any other area for the amount of growth that's gone on in that area. I mean, it's the place to be. And we've interviewed legislators, again, Commissioner Hanley last hour, and they're glad to have it. But I don't know any area in West Virginia that would be fully prepared for what's going on in Mason County right now. And look, there are areas of the state that are undergoing growth, Eastern Panhandle being one, Morgantown area one. I live in Tays Valley, and I can tell you, I love where I live. I've lived in Tays Valley, for 12 years now, I guess. Yeah, 12 years. Love it there. Absolutely love it. But the growth that's going on there is rivaling what happened in the 1990s there. And trust me, when I leave here in the afternoon or early evening and get off that Tays Valley exit off I-64, and it takes me about 20 minutes to go a mile up the road, then yeah, I know a mile and a half. We know all about the growth too, and so it's a good problem to have, though. Text says, not sure why you and the government keep pushing data centers. We don't want them. Well, what have I said? Put down your iPhone. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Text says, pitcher Paul Skeens didn't make it out of the first inning of the Pirates and Mets game. Looks like the Pirates are already in mid-season form. You hear that, Weekly? Weekly's on the other side of the glass over here. Yeah, he's out. Would you say them's fighting words? All right. 1-800-765-TALK. Phone number, text 304-TALK-304. It would be really nice as a texter if someone would fix the potholes. Ain't nobody going to disagree with that. Text said, I agree, Dave. Opening day is when your favorite team has a first pitch. Absolutely. Text, Dave, I listened to Dozy Don today in a news conference, and he kept repeating himself over and over. He's got to go. Just destroying our country. Has no clue of what's going on or where we go from here. Simply no clue, says the texter. Text says, gas going up, diesel at near record high, starting a war with a nation that's posed no threat. I'm sure the MAGAs in West Virginia love it. So glad I left. I listened to your station to keep caught up on the news back home, but I am truly glad I left, says the texter. Text says, if Trump were to cure cancer, the Democrats and the media would find fault with it. It is pathetic, says the texter. You know, it is interesting, though, and I'm not a defender of Donald Trump, as you well know. I've said it before. I voted for the guy twice. But there is something to be said for what the texter is saying there about if the people that despise Donald Trump so much when he does do something good, and there have been good things, they don't want to give him credit. But that's not because it's Donald Trump. The same thing happened under other presidents as well. And we are in this vacuum right now with our blinders on that the guy we don't like is all bad, no matter what. And we cannot give him credit for anything. So that's just kind of where we are right now. Where we are is about to take a break. Back with more after this.
At Glenville State University, we are pioneers. With over 45 undergraduate degree programs, 17 NCAA athletic teams, and countless campus organizations and activities, we're here to help you build your story while becoming a part of ours. Glenville State University. Your dream, your future, your story. Visit glenville.edu today for more information.
A degree from Marshall University isn't simply a career path. It's a trust, an opportunity to inhabit the moments that change lives, to make connections that make a difference. With the opportunities of a larger school and the intimate nature usually reserved for one much smaller, you'll find your people, your passion, and yourself at Marshall, all while experiencing the moments that will shape the rest of your life. In person, online, or a mixture of both, join us today. Your moment awaits at Marshall University.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
When I was heavy, being on my feet all day seemed like torture. Makes you feel defeated. I'm just going to be like this for the rest of my life. But then I thought, I'm done acting like that. I'm not going to be like that anymore. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 265 pounds. It's always been my goal to have my own place. I want everyone to feel welcome here. I would never have been able to do all these things before without WVU Medicine.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
The conversation starts long before the game.
He doesn't do this to other guests, but every time I'm on here, he creates distractions.
Disrespectful.
With his phone. I mean,
I have to have the phone on in case Pete Thamel breaks another story.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television, available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronews.com.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
With Metro News Hotline, if it's trending, it's probably here.
And then the other thing, his last name is one of those weird Norwegian names where they have two vowels that slam into each other. It's like the A and the E are like cemented into each other.
You're like the 12th Dave that works here. What do you think people from Norwegian think about that?
That is fair.
Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on Metro News Television.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at wvhtf.org.
Welcome back to the show. It is 12 minutes away from 3 o'clock on a Thursday afternoon. With tomorrow being Friday, that means we're going to put another great eatery in the spotlight on the lunch spot. Now, we've been doing something different during the Lenten season. We talked to a couple of actual brick and mortar restaurants about their fish, but we've been doing these fish fries. And I can tell you tomorrow's has already been secured. All right, and so this is I won't tell you exactly where, but it's a church with Knights of Columbus, and they are doing some pretty good fish fries from what I understand. So that is taken care of. Now, my co-host Amanda has decided that next week, the following Friday, heading into the Easter weekend, that she wants to, and this may just be a way for her to get free food. I mean, because I would never do anything like that. I got a story to tell you about that coming up. But anyway, she wants to kind of focus next week on peanut butter eggs. So I'll go ahead and throw it out there now. You got a church that does peanut butter eggs. You got a bakery in your hometown. That's what Amanda wants to do next week on the Lunch Spot. Drop us an email midday at wvmetronews.com, midday at wvmetronews.com. Reach out to me or Amanda on social media. For me, Dave Allen Radio on Facebook, or at Dave870 on X. Text says, Dave, all Republicans have got to go this election. Can't afford their high cost of living, utilities out of control. Who can stop them? Voters. That's who. Text says, forget all the politics and hate. It's opening day. Go Reds. Gone, says a texter, are the days of good local schools and community hospitals. I miss those days. Agreed. Text says, one man had the guts to step aside the last election, but one did not. He just wanted revenge, says the texter. Well, I agree with the revenge part, but I think there's a lot of those in the Democratic Party that wish that then President Biden would have made that decision a whole lot earlier. Text says, there were no better teams in baseball history than the Big Red Machine teams of the 1970s. Text says, people need to leave the president alone. He's doing exactly what we elected him to do. Text says, Dave, just listen to Trump for 5 minutes and you'll know he's not smarter than a fifth grader. Text says, government should focus on a growing problem all states and towns and communities are facing, lack of volunteer firefighters and raising costs to equip them. I can remember when departments were on call within 2 minutes. Now they're paging some departments 3 or more times. Lucky to get one to roll. Something got to happen soon or we're going to lose our local fire departments, and who then will come to help? Text says, Dave, you remember back home in L.A. how traffic was? 35 to 45 minutes to go 7 miles, says a texter. I can remember in the 1970s and 1980s what downtown Logan was like. I won't speak for the rest of the area, but I can certainly remember when my hometown was thriving. And look, there's a lot of good things going on in Logan now. I mean, a lot. But I can remember when pulling into the 2 streets that make up downtown Logan. I mean, there's other streets, but primarily the businesses, for the most part, are on Main or Stratton Street. I can remember 70s and 80s, and even really into the 90s, what it was like trying to get into downtown Logan. Yes, I do. Text says, I agree with someone from yesterday. The fact that people expect us hardworking people to support TSA workers who make 60 to 80 grand a year is ridiculous. Get a second job like the rest of us. Text says, oil is up, indices are down. Remember when MAGAs cried about the market during Biden's presidency? Silence now. That's how you know MAGA is a cult. Text says, Yacht Rock fans everywhere mourning the death of Dash Crofts of Seals and Crofts. You want to watch something that's really interesting on TV? The Yacht Rock documentary. Have you seen that weekly? It was on. Was that on HBO? I think it was on. Or was it? Did it originally air on HBO? I watched that, I don't know, a year or so ago. And Yacht Rock became this whole phenomenon. And people say, well, what is Yacht Rock? Well, it was that sound of started probably in the early 70s, went to somewhat the early 80s. And think Michael McDonald, think the Doobie Brothers, Christopher Cross, Pablo Cruz. And it became Yacht Rock. One of the most interesting parts, though, of the documentary was when they tried to interview one of the duo of Steely Dan, the only one that's living. And It was expletive filled when they tried to do that. No, not read that. Texas, just a friendly reminder to independents like me that the state Republican Party made the decision they didn't need us by shutting us out of the primary. 2:53, and we will wrap it up after this.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
When I was heavy, being on my feet all day seemed like torture. Makes you feel defeated. I'm just going to be like this for the rest of my life. But then I thought, I'm done acting like that. I'm not going to be like that anymore. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 265 pounds. It's always been my goal to have my own place. I want everyone to feel welcome here. I would never have been able to do all these things before without WVU Medicine.
For your daily fix of sports in West Virginia, there's only one stop. Sportsline on Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com. Join Kyle Wiggs, Coach Hunter, and Brett Howe weeknights for Sportsline on Metro News Television.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
With Metro News Hotline, if it's trending, it's probably here.
And then the other thing, his last name is one of those weird Norwegian names where they have two vowels that slam into each other. It's like the A and the E are like cemented into each other.
You're like the 12th Dave that works here. What do you think people from Norwegian think about that?
That is fair.
Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on Metro News Television.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Well, the takeover of the studio has already started because Mr. Weekly's come in here and turned it off the news and put it on the Pirates game. So your boy Skeens got roughed up, according to your pick?
It's more like O'Neal Cruz needs to learn how to play center field. He is a professional baseball player, after all.
Oh, you wanted me to catch that.
What? Moi?
Yeah.
That was for me?
Oh, you mean, okay. So right now we're up, the Mets are up 6-4 right now.
6-4, top 5.
Okay.
So, good ball game.
All right. Speaking of food, I want to mention this. So earlier today, my good friends we have a new burrito place in Tays Valley.
Bad
Bad
bunny.
Happy,
Bad Happy.
Bad Bunny. Yes,
Bad
it's
Bunny burrito.
Bad Bunny burritos. Yes, it is. Bad Happy burrito, and those guys were nice enough to drop some food by the studio earlier today.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Unfortunately, it's all gone. I just thought I'd tell you.
Just like
about it.
Skeens in the first inning.
Yeah,
all gone.
but I will
all
tell you,
gone.
I'll do a little plug for them. They're right on Tays Valley Road. They are absolutely. This is not, with all due respect to Taco Bell, and I love Taco Bell. Don't get me wrong; it's got its place. This is actual like real burritos.
They got a nice
real
review in the
tacos.
Gazette Mail today.
Yeah, but it's legit. I mean, it's very good, and that's Chef Paul joint. Chef Paul
Right.
is part of that. There's a bakery that's connected to it that has Ellen's Ice Cream, and Ellen's Ice Cream in Charleston. I mean, it's like Gino's Steaks in Philly.
He owns that too.
Yeah,
he owns that too.
Anyway, I told Coop, I said, you really ought to save one of these for weekly, and his words to me were. No. That's exactly what he said.
No. Come get it, big guy.
All right. Other than opening day, what you got on the big show today?
Well, you're talking about food. You see what our in or out food of the day is?
Oh, I've already responded.
Oh, okay. It's National Spinach Day.
I'm in 100%.
Well, see,
Love spinach.
people go back and forth on it. So we'll get into that, and we're talking about the NCAA thing.
If you don't like spinach, you hate Popeye and you hate America. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. Till then, have fun and love somebody.